thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Absolutely.
And congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
Can you believe it's been 5 films now? Does it feel like you're kind of growing up with the films?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I started from the very first one, working with Sid and Scrat and Manny. And yeah, at the time we didn't think it was going to be such a big phenomenon, but here we are. We're doing the 5th one, and we're going strong. So we feel very fortunate and lucky. And, you know, when we approach a new movie, it is like coming back to family. And you know, we know these characters so well inside and out. And it makes the process a little bit easier in many ways because, you know, when we're looking at a sequence with Sid in it, we know exactly what he would say and we know exactly how he would react and what kind of silliness he'd get himself into. So it's fun to work with.
How difficult is it to try and make the characters evolve? Does it get a little bit harder each time as the films go by to try and make them develop and change?
You know, we approach it in a way where, you know, let's say with Manny, you know, he's always kind of the central figure in our movies. We sort of take major milestones in his life and we just sort of like, you know, on to the next sort of thing. And so in that way, I think it makes it a little bit more organic or a little easier to kind of introduce a new kind of adventure for him. You know, in the first one, he was on his own. The second one, he finds Ellie. In the third one, he has a baby with her. And, you know, so it's sort of the natural progression. And in this one, he has to learn how to let go of his daughter. She's all grown up and she's going to go off on her own with her own adventures with her fiance. So, you know, it's a new thing that he has to overcome to deal with.
And they're in a new world as well with new characters that we get to see. Can you tell us a bit more about how those ideas came about and those people came on board the project?
Yes. You know, the inspiration for the movie actually came from the first Ice Age. And, you know, they go into an ice museum and they find this spaceship that's encased in ice. And we always loved that image and we always wanted to do something with that. And so it was sort of set the stage for, you know, the latest Ice Age. So at the beginning of the movie, the Scrat is going to find that very same ship, and he's going to launch himself into the cosmos inadvertently, and he's going to send down this big threat, this big asteroid is going to be on a collision course with Earth. So along the way, our guys will have to find a way to divert this asteroid, and they have to go to a place called Geotopia. And this place is sort of like, you know, like one of those small geode rocks, but imagine like a football stadium size version of that. So when they go in, they're encased or they're covered in all these crystals, all these colorful crystals. And that's where they meet the new characters, Brooke, voiced by Jessie J, and the Shangri Lama, voiced by Jess Tyler Ferguson. And, you know, they go there to find answers to their problem.
And the characters look so much fun as well from what we've seen so far. They look
great.
Brilliant. And of course, Book is back. And Simon Pegg is brilliant in it as always.
Yes.
But the Figaro sequence that we've seen, that's outstanding. It really is.
Thank you.
How difficult was that for him to try and film that and to sing it in that way?
Oh boy. You know, you'd have to ask him directly how hard it was, but from our perspective, it seemed like it was effortless for him. You know, we told him about the sequence over the phone, and he's like, okay, well, I'll give it a shot. And I believe he got a sort of a voice actor or a singing coach for this. So I think he rehearsed it or practiced it for a few days. But then he came into the studio and he did an outstanding job. I think we had booked 3 hours for him to record that, just for that sequence. And he did it in half the time. And we were all content and happy. We're like, I don't know what else we could try. I think we thought he absolutely nailed it. Even our composer was just, you know, his jaw was on the ground. He was absolutely shocked at how well he had sang the sequence.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, he's great.
And what is it, do you think, that makes the film such a success? Because it's popular. My 3 nieces absolutely love it. You know, they're very jealous that I got to come here today to watch this. And what do you think it is that makes it so popular? Over all these years, children growing up with it, adults alike love it just as much. What is the secret, do you think?
You know, we don't know for sure, but we think it's because of the family themes that is always at the heart of the Ice Age movies. You know, being there for each other, it seems to resonate really well, despite the fact that they're, you know, disparate characters. They're totally different. You know, Sid, Diego, and Manny are just, they couldn't be any more different, but they're there for each other. They help each other out when they're in some trouble. So I think that's one of the keys, and I think the physical comedy, the Scrat especially, seems to translate very well. I think everybody loves physical humor, and they love how he's willing to try no matter what to get what he wants.
And for you, probably the toughest question: who do you think is your favourite character, or which film in particular do you enjoy the most?
Well, I'm a little biased because I'm very close to this one, so I'd like to say that this is my favorite film of the franchise. But that being said, I would say Scrat is one of my favorite characters. As a filmmaker, you want to work on a character that gets a good reaction from the audience, and he seems to be the most consistent of the characters. So I love working on the Scrat, but I also love all the other characters. So
difficult choice.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much for your time today.
Oh,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you.